because I just knew that moral injury had to be the biggest issue, the biggest spiritual issue that warriors would face. It had never occurred to me that it wasn't something that had been identified, because it's been identified in religious literature for centuries and centuries. In my religious tradition, we call priests curates because we cure souls. And the basic professional degree used to be a doctor of divinity, and now we're masters of divinity, which is kind of funny, as if anyone could master the divine. And so this idea that people are not going to have their hearts broken by bad things happening is just an unrealistic idea. So I joined the military so that I could be with people, good people, who were doing bad things because it was good to do them in that weird way that happens in life and certainly in war. And so I think we owe it to folks that we put in those positions to have sacred rituals, sacred space, sacred time, and sacred value to allow to journey through that and bind up the brokenhearted, not make it okay, but be real together with each other and affirm one another's sacred value.
You sought out that family in Iraq, the Kachadurian family, and you went and met with them, the family that suffered so much as a result of what you did there. How did that work out?
Well, first let me just say to any veterans out there, especially combat veterans, you have nothing to feel guilty or ashamed about. You're an extension of our nation. They asked you to do what you did, and if anybody needs to feel guilty, it's those that put you in harm's way. So, as Bill said, you know, the labeling problem of it's not your internal guilt to deal with. Leaving that behind, due to journalism and the great work of Dexter Filter reporting on the story back in 2003, I was able to get the name of the family. And I also got to hear a narrative of the family's experience of that day, why they were driving down the street, because at the time all the Marines just said, well gosh, you know, if they're driving down the street, they have to be an enemy. Like Zach said, you know, maybe it was just an old guy that, you know, his brakes weren't working. So they were confused. They were at a neighbor's house, it got bombed. They tried to get back to their house. They were in a caravan of 3 cars. It was a mother, it was the daughter, and it was the father and 2 sons. And I got their names. I also got another article, found out they were in Glendale, worked with my family. And the best part of all this was it all took place through social media, in essence. You know, I got a hold of the family through Facebook. I have a Facebook group with all the veterans that I was with. I use Google Docs, the internet in general, and it made the world so small that I could find this family. And what do you know, they're 200 miles away in Glendale. I was living in San Diego, and I sent them a video and said, you probably don't know who I am, but our lives crossed on April 8th, 2003, and I'd like to say I'm sorry, and more importantly, I want to see if there's something I can do for you. But I also want to stress that it was my training in the Marine Corps and our motto of no better friend, no worse enemy, and the love I have for my friends that led me there. I'm not an anomaly. I think many veterans, especially in my unit, would all have done the same thing, because we all carry the responsibility of leading the nation until the day we die. Once you put on that uniform, that's it. Forever you're a servant to all of you people here, everyone. That's what we do. So it was an awesome experience, and I keep in close contact with the family now. They know I'm out here, and they're very supportive, very good people.
Zach, you're making a film now about your experiences in Iraq.